Next up, we've got the Premier League leaders, Chelsea at home to Spurs. A mouth-watering encounter.
Look at you.
It's a beautiful fixture. It's a wonderful fixture.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Listen, Chelsea...
Downbeat on every other game. And look
Come
at
on,
the
Super
now.
Let's talk about Chelsea. Unbeaten so far
Yep.
this season. Ancelotti, without Chelsea having played anyone, that's they played Porto midweek, weren't spectacular, ground out a win, which is what you got sometimes
they know
do
how
in
to
Europe.
win, don't they? Yeah, absolutely.
Haven't Chelsea haven't been spectacular. They've been
I think
solid.
Jace, you know as well as I do, when you play 7 or 8 games, invariably you dip on a couple. You can't play well on... No. But when you dip...
Get the result.
You still win.
Get the result. That's what Chelsea did. He's changing formation away from home. He's going for the Christmas tree. He's persisting with the diamond at home.
He's been a bit more flexible now. I mean, the difference between the diamond playing the players he's got now and the diamond playing the 4 in central midfielders is huge, Jace. Because, the diamond with the 4 centre midfielders, there's no width. The diamond with Kalou maybe at times and, Malouda
He had to do that midweek. He had to do that midweek because Didier was out, but Didier is back.
Yeah.
Bad news for Spurs?
I like Anelka, I've got to say. Anelka, I mean, that's why...
But if he could play the pair of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure how that works. If he plays the pair of them, he generally plays Anelka wide, doesn't he? I think Avram Grant made a very astute bit of business there when he saw...
15 million?
Yeah, but I mean, absolutely.
It's not a lot, is it, when you think...
Well, not when you think about it. And when you think about a player to replace Drogba, like he did the other night, to play a specific role that Drogba plays up on his own. Yeah. We saw him play it for Arsenal, Anelka. He's one of the few players in the world that can do that role. Then I think it's a very astute bit of business. And it's for me, it's a position where you need cover. And what you're doing is you're managing to cover that position with one player. Now, normally, if you didn't have a player to come into Drogba's role, you'd have to play 2, wouldn't you? But you can still keep the formation and just swap like for like. So it's a good bit of business. It's a tough game. I mean, Tottenham don't win at Chelsea very often, do they? I think we go back to, 87, 88? Something like that, when they last beat them. So whether or not after last week that's going to change or not, I don't know.
OK, you say that Spurs haven't beaten Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, you're absolutely right. But in recent encounters... It's
been a lot closer.
It's been a lot closer.
Absolutely.
And Spurs have picked up a couple of draws in the FA Cup. They went very close. They've beaten Chelsea in the Carling Cup final. So this is a fixture now that Spurs can go into with a bit more promise.
Absolutely. And they've, unfortunately for them, they are going to... We saw it last week, that the loss of Modric does affect them. There's no doubt about that.
There's no question. They missed that bit of creativity, that bit of magic.
Yeah, that bit of magic from midfield. And the way that he can drift in, pick the ball up from central areas and run at people. Almost... You can't pick him up because he drifts so much. So that is a loss. Palacios last week looked knackered. Excuse my French. Looked absolutely shattered. I think he'd been to Mexico City or something.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Which is, he looked tired. He came off at half-time. They missed him. He just wasn't there, was he? He was a yard away, gave away a couple of free kicks, and you're thinking, well, he would have made those challenges before he got the ball. So he'll be back. He'll be fit and firing, so that won't help the Chelsea cause, but difficult to bet against him all the same. I'm not quite sure. There's enough in this game to say I don't think that, Chelsea at the price they are, that you bet them on the straights. I've got to say, I think there's a bit of value somewhere else in this one.
Spurs, I felt, made to look very ordinary, despite the fact going 1-0 up after about 40 or 50 seconds from Jermaine Defoe. They were made to look ordinary. I think Chelsea are a stronger side than Manchester United. I just think that Chelsea will have too much of them physically. Yeah, over that.
Yeah, I mean, we're not looking. They're too short in this game, so we're not looking at that.
Okay.
I understand where you come from, Jason. Wouldn't argue with that, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's something in this game for Tottenham. So we're going to look at another way in. We're going to go for over 2.5 goals at 5-6. We fancy this.
I'll go along with you. That one, I can see that.
Encounter. Yeah. I think
there generally are there are goals between Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean that's the misplaced sort of perception of this game, isn't it? That it's a tight, low-scoring game, and it's not. We get that in some games, and sometimes you've got to look back and have a look at the stats. Tottenham probably don't, even if Tottenham go a goal up, they don't sit on it, are they, and stay at 1-0. They're not that way. The players they've got, there's a lopsided look to their game. They're going to keep going. They're going to have a go. And I think there's enough in this game. If either side takes the lead, that it's not going to kill this game. No. So we're going to go over 2.5 goals at 5-6. We think is good value. And our second bet is Jermaine Defoe.
Man in form.
He's hot, isn't he? Jermaine Defoe to score at any time. So that's any time.
That's a good bet.
Not first time.
And he likes scoring against Chelsea. He scored goals in the past against
nearly
Chelsea.
Nearly 3-1, 13-5.
OK, let's go over those bets again. The first bet, over 2.5 goals, that's 5-6. And bet 2, Jermaine Defoe to score at any time, that's 13-5. You're watching the Bet Republic Premier League preview show with me, Jason Cundy and Steve Claridge. Don't forget to check out the Bet Republic website and join in all the fun. You can set up your own profile, post photos and videos, read the blogs and become part of the rapidly growing Bet Republic community. If you want to make a few bets with us, just click on the Bet UK link on the site.